What is up, guys? It's the Pi Guy. Welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be looking at solving equations involving only one step. So let's get started. Okay, so what is an equation? An equation is a mathematical sentence that says one side of an equation is equal to the other side of an equation. I want you guys to remember, and I cannot stress this enough, but I want you to remember that both sides of an equation may not look like each other, but they are equal. Okay, so for example, 1 plus 1 doesn't look like the number 2, but we can agree that if we add 1 and 1, we will get to making both sides of the equation equal. Okay, so let's look at some equations with variables now. So solving these equations is like solving a puzzle with a missing piece. We need to find which number x can be to make both sides of the equation equal to each other. So in this example, we can easily see that this x here, that's going to be 2. So if we add 3 and 2, you're going to get 5. So 3 plus 2 equals 5. However, these problems will not always be this easy to solve. So we need to use another method to solve for this x. Now that's where this golden rule of algebra comes in. The golden rule of algebra is we can do whatever we want to an equation. We can add, subtract, multiply, or divide any number as long as we do the exact same thing to the other side of the equation. Because equations, they're like balancing scales. Okay, so if we put weight on one side of the equation, if we're going to balance it, we need to put weight on the other side, and they have to be equal. So we're going to use the golden rule of algebra to solve for x now. So let's go back to our first example. Okay, so we need to get rid of the 3 on the left side. So we're going to subtract 3 from both sides because we have an x plus a 3 and we just want x. So to get rid of that 3, let's subtract 3 from the left side. And since we have to use the golden rule of algebra, we need to subtract 3 from this side too. So we have 3 minus 3. That cancels, leaving us with 0. So on the left side, we just have x equals 5 minus 3. That just gives us 2. Okay, so to check our work, we're going to plug this 2 back in for where x was and see if it gives us a true statement. So let's do that up here. 3 plus our x, which is 2, equals 5. And if you plug 3 plus 2 into any calculator, that's going to give you 5. So we know that we did our work correctly. So let's do another one. Here's another one. We have 7 plus x equals 10. And we want x on the left side by itself. So to do that, we're going to subtract 7 from the left side. And since we subtracted 7 from the left side, we have to subtract 7 from the right side too. Okay. So we have 7 minus 7 and 10 minus 7. 7 minus 7 is 0. So we're left with x equals 10 minus 7. That's 3. Okay, so we're going to check that. So we have 7 plus our x, which is 3, equals 10. And 7 plus 3 is in fact 10. So we know we got that. We know I got that right. So 10 equals 10. Checked our work. Okay. So now we have a subtraction. So now that we have an x, we have a number being subtracted from x, we need to add that number to just get x. Okay. So we have a negative 7 over here. So we're going to add 7 to both sides. That leaves us with 0. 4 plus 7. That gives us 11. So we have x equals 11. If we plug that in to check our work, we're going to get 11 minus 7 equals 4. 11 minus 7 is 4. So we have 4 equals 4, and that checks out. Okay, so for this problem, another subtraction problem, we have a negative 2 being subtracted from x. So we need to add that 2 over on the left side. So we have negative 2 plus 2. That leaves us with just x equals 4 plus 2. That is 2, so we have 6. We're going to plug our 6 back in for x in the original equation. Okay, so our x is 6 minus 2. 6 minus 2 is 4. Since 4 equals 4, we know that checks out. We know we did our work right. Okay, so now let's do some problems involving multiplication. When we have multiplication, we need to do its opposite, which is division. So we have an x over here being multiplied by 2. We need to divide by 2 on both sides of the equation. Okay. So we have 2 over here, 2x divided by 2. We have 4 divided by 2 over here. These 2's cancel, leaving us with just 1x. 4 divided by 2, that leaves us with 2. Okay, so let's check our work back up here. We have a 2 times our x, which is 2. Okay, equals 4. So 4 times, or 2 times 2 equals 4. Checks out. We know we did our work right. Okay, last multiplication one. We have an x being multiplied by 4 equals 16. We need the x just by itself, so we're going to divide by 4. These cancel, leaving us with just x. On the right side we have 16 divided by 4, which is just 4. So we have x equals 4. Let's plug that 4 back in for x to check our work. 4 times 4 equals 16. 4 times 4 is 16 equals 16. So that's correct. We did our work right. Okay, finally, let's do some division problems. So now we have a variable being divided by some number equaling some number on the other side. So to get rid of this number here, we need to multiply by the same number on the top. So we have a 2 on the bottom, so let's multiply by 2. And let's do it on the other side. Make sure we're using that golden rule of algebra. 2 times x divided by 2. These 2's cancel, leaving us with just 1x. Okay, then on the right side we have 4 times 2, giving us an 8. Okay, let's check that. Plugging the 8 back in for x. 8 divided by 2 equals 4. We know that 8 divided by 2 is 4. Equals 4. Checks out. Works. Everything works. Last one. Here we go. Okay, we have a variable being divided by a number equaling some number on the other side. So to get this x by itself, we're going to multiply by this number on the bottom here. So since the number is on the bottom, we're going to multiply by 3 on the top. Multiply by 3 on both sides. This 3 cancels, leaving us with just x. On the right side, we have 3 times 3 is 9. Okay, so let's check our work over here. Plug this 9 in for x on the top. 9 divided by 3 equals 3. Okay, so 9 divided by 3, that gives us 3, equals 3. Since they're equal to each other, we know we did it right. Okay guys, that was all for this video. If you liked this video or thought it was helpful, please give it a like and also comment down below what you guys would like to see in my next video. Be sure to subscribe to my channel for more videos on math. If you didn't quite get something, be sure to screenshot it and send it to me via email, Twitter, Instagram. All those are linked down below. I will be sure to help you guys with it, and I'll see you guys next time.